the opinion polls in each of the member states, you'll see the first thing that state citizens are looking to us to do is to ensure common security and defence. There's no contradiction between that and the national defence effort, nor is there any contradiction between that and the efforts made by most EU member states within NATO, together with the UK, and that will continue. There's no contradiction either with bilateral cooperation that we undertake it in quite a number of countries together with the UK. We need to provide protection, but we also need to be able to protect our troops around Europe. We have to be able to tackle crises at the source. We need to be able to plan and deploy more effectively. So there is a thumbnail sketch of what we as 27 in the future will have to do, but that doesn't rule out a close cooperation with the United Kingdom. Quite the contrary, as the speaker who had the floor when I arrived was saying. So diplomacy, development and defence, those three pillars show our ambition and our interest in building a lasting, strong relationship with the United Kingdom. And that is very much the spirit that informs this political declaration. I would call upon you to peruse it if you haven't already. And we worked this out with Theresa May's teams. There's a clear reason for this. The United Kingdom will remain an ally, a member of the UN Security Council, will be a standing member still. Of course, we need close cooperation and solidarity in the light of threats to us. We have to be able to uphold security by means of this solidarity with the United Kingdom. And that's why nearly a year ago, in July last year, we worked on our own resolutions. There was the European Parliament's resolution and the Council's guidelines. But at the same time, there was the white paper tabled in July by the British government. And we carried out a methodical benchmarking exercise to find all the points of convergence amongst us. And in the areas you are responsible for, ladies and gentlemen, we did find many points of convergence. I would like to quote the 5 mechanisms that we pinpointed together with the UK, where we're prepared to work together on new agreements in this new partnership. Firstly, a strategic dialogue to bring together our efforts at the United Nations, in particular during the work of the Security Council, rising to major international challenges. I'm thinking of the Iranian nuclear agreement, peace arrangements in Africa, or climate change, and strategic coordination of our sanctions regimes. Secondly, an operational framework for cooperation which will allow the United Kingdom, if it so desires, to take part in European efforts to stabilise the area around Europe, for example, in fighting piracy in the Gulf of Aden or the Indian Ocean, or another example, in training Somali soldiers. The United Kingdom should be in a position, if it wishes to do so, like us, to work together with us on that kind of operational cooperation and to send troops beyond Europe if need be. Thirdly, the possibility to take part in military and defence research projects so as to ensure we have interoperable material, particularly in the context of the European Defence Agency, new structured cooperation on an ongoing basis. The United Kingdom indeed has already flagged its interest in the military mobility project, and also in the context of the European Defence Fund that we've been setting up. Fourthly, intelligence cooperation, particularly in fighting terrorism, non-nuclear proliferation, and hybrid threats. And the fifth mechanism would be a framework for cooperation against fresh threats, particularly cyber warfare, exchange of information on cyber incidents, more international cooperation amongst the various agencies with authority of this in the EU. So those are the 5 mechanisms that we've identified together with the British government and included them in this political declaration. We're prepared to work on this as quickly as possible, provided that we reach an agreement on the withdrawal, on the past, the divorce, so that we will then have the strongest possible basis for confidence and cooperation.